I never believed in the supernatural. Ghost stories? Fun. Rituals? Ridiculous. But that changed the night we tried the elevator game. A ritual said to take you to another world. Just a game, right? Wrong. Very wrong. It all started when my friends and I found the rules online. Simple. Ride an elevator alone, press floors in a specific sequence, and supposedly you end up in a parallel dimension. No one knows for sure what happens, but some say if you do it right, you can visit another world. I was skeptical, but everyone was curious. So late one night, we decided to try it in an old hotel downtown, abandoned but still with power. The elevator still worked. The perfect place. Four of us, me, Mark, Lisa, and Jamie. We agreed only one person would ride the elevator at a time, following the floor sequence exactly. I went first. I stepped in, pressed the buttons, 4, 2, 6, 2, 10. Then the doors opened, but the hallway was wrong. Darker, quieter. I looked back, no one was there. I freaked out and rushed back in, hit the lobby button, and the elevator took me down. I told the others. They thought it was just a trick of the mind, but were excited to try. Jamie went next. She disappeared. Then Lisa. Only Mark and I were left. I won't forget the terror when Mark got in, pressed the buttons, and never came back. Hours passed. I was alone. I barely slept. Then the elevator dinged. The doors opened, and there he was, Mark. But he wasn't the same. His eyes empty. His voice hollow. He said only one thing before collapsing. The door closed behind me. That's when I realized we messed with something we couldn't control, and only one of us would survive. The moment Mark collapsed, the elevator lights flickered violently. The stale air inside the cabin felt thicker, almost suffocating. I kneeled beside him, trying to shake him awake, but his eyes remained wide and blank, like he'd seen something no one was meant to see. "Mark, come on, man," I whispered. "What happened? What did you mean by the door closed behind me?" But he didn't answer. Instead, a low hum began to resonate through the elevator shaft, growing louder and more menacing. The elevator shuddered, and the floor buttons blinked erratically. Panic gripped me. I pressed the emergency stop button, but nothing happened. The elevator lurched, then dropped, just for a second, before jolting to a sudden halt. The doors creaked open, but we weren't in the hotel anymore. The hallway outside was unlike anything I'd ever seen. The walls were cracked and peeling, bathed in a sickly yellow light that flickered like a dying flame. The air smelled damp, stale, and heavy with something metallic like old blood. No windows, no doors except one at the far end, slightly ajar. I helped Mark to his feet, but he stumbled, mumbling something I couldn't understand. His skin was pale, almost translucent, and a cold sweat coated his forehead. "Where are we?" I asked, voice shaking. Mark's eyes flicked toward the open door. "That's the way back," he said in a whisper. I glanced down the corridor, heart pounding. Something moved just out of sight, shadows twisting unnaturally. The silence was broken by distant, guttural whispers, unintelligible but growing closer. "We need to get out," I said, gripping Mark's arm. Suddenly, from behind us, the elevator doors slammed shut. I pounded on the elevator doors, yelling for help, but the sound was swallowed by the oppressive silence. Mark clutched my sleeve tighter, his face pale and trembling. "Did you hear that?" he whispered. "They're here." "Who? What?" I asked, but he shook his head, eyes darting nervously down the hallway. The whispers grew louder, closer, like something creeping just beyond the shadows. I scanned the hallway, heart hammering. The walls seemed to breathe, the shadows stretching and warping. Then, from the corner of my eye, I caught a glimpse of something tall, gaunt, and impossibly fast disappearing around the bend. "No," Mark said, voice breaking. "We can't stay here." We moved cautiously toward the open door at the end of the hallway. The whispers chased us, echoing in my ears like a nightmare. As we reached the door, Mark suddenly collapsed again. This time, he didn't get up. I was alone. The door creaked open wider, revealing a staircase spiraling upward into darkness. I had to decide, go up or stay trapped in this endless nightmare.